Thirsty, thirsty, and 30.
Shari.
Hello, 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 and welcome to episode 6 of Thirsty and 30, the podcast that's fun, informative, and truly the blind leading the blind in the love space. Our goal is to navigate and translate modern love with all its complications and quirks so you can make saner decisions. I'm Shari, your usual non expert. Hi, guys.
Hi, Shari. Someone's complaining that FML, you still got that 30-minute, 3-minute timer. Okay,
It's
relax.
so people can prep. My God.
Calm down. We're just trying to
No.
relax here. So yeah, I'm Bea. You're also non-expert on love, on modern love. And it's really another ridiculous Wednesday of us trying to unpack all that is finding modern love. I don't know if we're getting desperate, Shari, but let's see. Let's say hello to a few people. You got Anne. Hi, Anne. How are
Hi.
you?
Hey. To my BFF CLI, my godchild, Lucky, I love you, Nina misses you. Isa, hello. Mike, Monica, and my cousin Arbs. Hey, guys. And
Yeah.
all our usual viewers. And we're on Kumu today,
I don't
figuring it out.
understand this thing.
It's complicated, but hi, Kumu. Yeah, bear with us.
What if it's awkward? I have a inappropriate slip or something. Anyways, hello. Yeah.
Okay, so Bea, what are we going to do today?
Which one? Where do we start though? I don't know. I'm
We're
really
extra
I'm
creative, right? We're extra creative now.
yeah, so Sherry, 2020 has been a really life altering year for most of us. I mean, this is the first time we've all been locked down. And I don't know if you saw the meme I posted. In the beginning of the year, you said, I'm ready to date. And then 2020 had this amazing, ridiculous plan for you. And, we get the picture. So this episode is all about this idea of, being mindful, lende, in some ways by using our mind in a very calm way. And I've
Yeah.
been thinking about it, Sherry. Like, they always talk about this with CEOs or successful people about this idea of meditation or being in control of your emotions or whatever successful people do. So I thought maybe we should look into this. Um,
Do you
yeah.
know how? Do you meditate?
It's like 3 minutes or so, but I do try to wake up without like looking at email or
Yeah.
harassing myself. Maybe meditation is like a cup of coffee or journaling, but my
Okay.
journaling is like probably half a page. So let's see. So
Mm,
today we're going to discuss this in two parts. So the first is we'll talk about meditation, and the second half is we'll be talking about Reiki healing, which I honestly don't know much about. Like to me, it's still a concept that's confusing. I know it's just trying to. Okay, I hope she doesn't correct me
okay.
later. It's tapping into yourself or something, but I don't know. Nasa-stress
Personally,
ako.
I've never, ever, ever, I've never been to this kind of practice. I've never tried. I'm
Mm,
interested. I'm always interested to learn. But
yeah,
you know what? I'm interested to know if I'm actually blocking love. Am I blocking it? And I want to unblock, So I'm open to anything. Let's get creative. Because,
yeah.
like, life is a blur. Like, now I have two things going on because I'm trying to figure the Kumu thing out in one year and us in the
Cool.
other year. So maybe they'll
Yeah.
help me just zen out and focus.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Before we introduce them, though, Shari, do you have any experience of things that you kind of thought was like, woohoo, like, a bit insane? In other words, where someone
no.
said, try this and you'll get a husband.
Oh, well, I wouldn't call it insane, but I've always been told, like in my life, that a good partner is something you pray for. And
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think that's crazy. I believe in that.
Yeah. Well, I've had maybe two experiences. One of which is my mom getting a, what do you call that? I don't know what it is. Oh, your
We
friends.
have we have a hijacker on our Kumu.
Okay. Hi, Marielle. Okay. So the first thing is that my mom got someone bald and
Yeah,
told me to write everything I wanted in a partner in a notebook. And then I had to sleep on top of the notebook. So I
yeah.
tried it for a few days, but I sounded crazy. And I guess I didn't get much luck. The second one was, again, my mom took me to a marriage counselor and she gave me a bunch of books. Thank you, Mom, for always looking out for me. Um, a bunch of books on marriage and how to be a good wife. So I don't know. We'll see.
Oh my god, I know. I remember when somebody told me before, like to write the name on like a piece of paper, write the name, and then get
Yeah.
the like needle, and then just like focus on the name and just like trace it. I didn't do it, and then you're supposed to sleep on it. It's
Yeah.
some Filipino what's the word? Agim, not
A
agima, something like that. Whatever.
folk tale. I don't know. Superstition. Yeah.
Really, we're not experts, Bea. We have to call them in to help us.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of good things about our guests because,
I
I've
know.
never been to one of a session or a class, but I'll introduce our first guest. I mean, we're bringing them both out together. So, Nick is someone I met through Chef JP. And, we both we've been doing our research on our guests. And one of the things that I came up with on Google, my favorite source, is that it's actually really perfect. He is a real world adventure, a commercial director, entrepreneur, and Kundalini yoga and meditation teacher and sound healer. And there's a lot of fans out there, specifically on the female side, who message me that they're very excited to watch him.
Oh,
Yes. So explorations and chronicles around the world, constantly finding intersections between creativity and spirituality. I would love to say these things without laughing or, not taking things seriously because I think he's a very, like, I don't know, he's very connected to himself. So I'm excited. Maybe we should bring him in.
yeah, bring
Um,
it.
Hi! Did you like the
Hello.
intro?
I love that intro. I love how you just basically read off what I wrote.
I was like, I don't know how to bring justice to
Oh my
what you wrote
god.
beside it.
But
If it's
thank
me,
you.
I'll
I
probably make a
appreciate it.
joke though.
No, no, it
Uh,
sounded good from somebody reading it, not my own like thoughts.
Yeah.
Nick,
So re
join naman our Kumu before
Oh yeah, yeah,
somebody
yeah, yeah. One
tries
sec,
to
one sec, one sec.
um dive in.
ayan.
Uh,
Okay.
Okay,
While Nick is trying to join
yeah.
Kumu, let's say
Let
hi
me
to
in.
some other people though.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. And then let me introduce. Okay, go
Yeah.
ahead. Say hi, Bea.
Hi Marielle. So I don't know what she's saying. Pray and baklaran. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Kara, nagpe-pray. Marielle is praying for you. All right, that's good. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, guys, our next guest, Kimmy Lou, she's our expert of Reiki healing. I am so curious about this whole Reiki healing thing. So Kimmy Lou is a life and corporate coach based in the Philippines, dedicated to helping individuals, teams, and companies in their journey towards more positivity and confidence. She believes that life is a party. Let's celebrate it every day and every way. And when I posted the photo of her on her social media accounts, everybody was like, "Oh my God, Kimmy Lou! Oh my God, you're gonna have Kimmy Lou on!" Everybody, I don't know. I was like, everybody knows her. Like, so guys, I am excited to show you Kimmy Lou. Hey, Kimmy.
Oh, hi. Well, I try to be omnipresent. So
Omnipresent.
maybe, yeah, like I'm everywhere. So
Oh,
maybe that's why people
yeah,
find that.
Kimmy, be everywhere na rin and join our Kumu. Fill up the floor.
How do I do it? How do I do it? How do I
Oh,
join?
I don't know
Tap
how,
tap
Ren.
the plus sign. I think.
Tap the plus
There's
sign.
okay. Go to go to Kumu. Open it. You love my instruct. I hope I'm doing this right. Go to Kumu. Look for thirsty and 30. Everyone else wants to get on the Kumu thing. Do it.
Yeah,
And then look for see the squares.
right.
And then there's is this a
Oh,
tarsier,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
Click the plus sign.
Hi,
This is great.
Kumu
Okay.
friends. This is our first Kumu team. Hello
There, you're
po.
in. You're in.
So guys, Kumu is a Filipino based app, right? So hello mga Pilipino, kamusta po kayo? Nandito po,
Kumusta?
kumusta po kayo? Nandito po tayo para what's unblock in Tagalog? Mag-unblock ng pagmamahal sa ating mga buhay.
Use the
Okay.
word.
So guys,
Oh my God.
okay, so guys, let's dive in. Let's dive in their topic. So I want to ask the two of you guys this question first. Do you believe in soulmates, or do you believe that we only have one love?
Kimmy, go ahead.
Me?
Yeah.
Pressure. I think that we can have multiple loves in our life. In our life, pala. We're not stuck to one. But what if that person dies? Well, you can still, I mean, you can still fall in love, I think.
Hmm.
So, in terms of soulmate, it's really the right place at the right time with the right person. Each time you're with them. So there must be a lesson in that season. Maybe it's a season of really, having a great love. So you can help multiple. That's my opinion.
Mm. How about you, Nick?
Definitely. I think like I was introduced to the concept of soulmates when I was in second year high school. When I saw my soulmate, I had no idea what it meant, but like, like I remember like I had to ask like friends, and at the time it was still like the dial-up internet, like you're like thinking like, okay, what soulmate? Someone who you just see and you just fall for them, and you feel like there's this profound connection, and yeah, I mean like this girl, I won't name her, but like until now we're still very deeply connected. In fact, she got married today. But we're
Oh,
close
nice.
enough that we say I love you to each other, but it's not romantic anymore. It's evolved
Yeah.
into a deeper kind of love. So it's like, we know all of her shit, but like at the same time, there's a very, very deep love. But I don't think we're limited to one soulmate. I think I've also met a couple of others.
But be on, did it sting though? Like your soulmate that you said that you met suddenly is getting married. Married bang like little like aray like
Of
it
course,
could
of
have been me.
course, of
Yeah. Okay.
course. That's that.
Okay.
Like you need that pinch, but it's not
Yeah.
a crippling pain. It's more like, oh wow, it's this love's pretty deep. Like I can actually just
Yeah.
observe and like recognize like and be happy for them and not feel any like resentment towards them. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Aw, that's nice.
Sherry, do you have a soulmate?
I wish. Never met him. I wish. I mean, I'm like, I don't know. I'm a Disney girl. I want to believe in the whole.
We were just talking about this a few nights ago, actually.
I
What a
want
Disney girl is.
to. I don't. I
Yeah.
am. Are you guys?
So you want the happy ending.
Don't we all want a happy ending? At the end of the day, whatever way it is, with a partner, without a partner, with a kid,
Yeah.
without a kid, wherever life takes you, you just want to be happy. I think that's the only universal thing in life. Nobody wants to be upset or sad.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know. The word soul like freaks me out.
You, Bea.
I'm a bit cold, so or maybe hesitant to like get swept off my feet or something. But for me, the word soul is like really freaky, and the word mate is like buddy. So to combine both is a lot of intensity, and I think it's like looking for I don't know, a needle in a haystack.
No, but
Yeah.
I do believe that your soulmate doesn't have to be your romantic partner. I believe a best friend can be a soulmate, a sibling can be a soulmate.
What?
I don't think it's romantic at all. Like,
I
Okay.
agree. I agree. I think there are different levels of soulmate. Like it could be platonic, it could be very sexual, or it could
Yeah.
be totally romantic and very short lived. Like I remember, I think like like there was this girl that I met like a couple of years ago, and she was like, like it was an instant look again. Like parang, and I was older. I was much older. I was in my 30s now. So like
Yeah.
it's like we're working, and then you have this really seemingly random encounter, and then you end up talking the whole night, and then at midnight she needs to get on a flight back to the States from Singapore. It's like it's crazy. It's like it's
Yeah.
from a movie. You know what I mean? And
Cinderella ba yun? Cinderella.
I mean, like, but we're still in touch. But parang, she has her own life, like, it's like she can't, it's not, you'd think that I'd pack my bags or she'd pack her bags and we'll move in together. But she has 2 kids, like, she can't just, and they're young. So it's one of those things wherein it's romantic, but at the same time, it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely agree. Like I have a similar cuento. I met someone on the train in New York. Like we literally looked at each other and then we became friends. And then same thing, I had to leave. We were crying at the airport. So I felt like that moment right there, I was just being grateful. But at the same time really sad and I was telling God, ano ba yan? Okay na eh. And then I had to leave. So there are moments, like soulmate moments, okay?
Okay. I do
Soulmate
like that.
moment. I like that.
Yeah. Sige.
I
All
want
right.
a soulmate moment. Paano ba, guys, teach me how to attract a soulmate moment. It's called, that, it's a movie term, meet cute. I want to meet cute.
Me
Ah.
too.
Meet cute.
Yeah.
What does it mean? Meet someone cute.
No, a meet, like, when you watch like a rom-com or whatever movie, it's when the protagonists meet, like in some awkward, like sort of serendipitous way. A meet
Mm.
cute.
No idea. I obviously don't watch a
I,
lot of rom
I haven't,
coms.
I haven't heard of that, but it's definitely like a serendipity movie for sure. But I
Yeah.
think
Like
honestly, for me, don't look for it lang. Parang like just do your thing, go where you want to go. Don't try to like meet anybody. And I think like when I look back at my experiences, they're definitely the ones talaga when you least expect it, and parang that's when it kind of comes out. Because like I feel like
Let
okay,
go.
I'm gonna talk a bit like I get a bit more like in hippie lingo. Like you gotta trust the universe. You know, it's gonna provide, but you gotta be ready to like accept that, and
Okay.
that means being. I mean, this concept of neutrality, wherein you're just like you're there, you're present, you're doing your thing. You're not expecting. You're not like forcing or obsessing, because that's that. Honestly, you're just getting in the way. You're getting in the way
Yeah.
of the men, the women, of what you know, whatever. And I mean, I believe in that. Like you gotta relax into it, talaga.
Okay, so this episode is all about relaxing. That's
Uh-oh.
why we see
Letting
we're both
go,
really strung out, the
going,
two of us.
going with
I
the
mean, I
flow.
am. I was very strung out before I got to this episode. I don't know why. I mean, yeah. So let's talk about meditation first.
Okay.
Like for those that are first timers, give us the gist. What is it about? What's the superpower?
Okay, so I'll premise it first on my experience. So I got into meditation like 7 years ago, and you know, like because I was reading a lot of you know, productivity books, and you know, the whole spiritual aspect was very minute. It wasn't the initial motivation, but I realized that like you know, like getting into it, like it's really like learning how to exercise for the first time. Like I was reading a lot about that, and parang you're gonna have to go through that ringer. Like for me, it was like almost 6 months to start breaking through. And it's like, you know, when you start meditating, at first you're just watching your breath, you're trying to stay with your breath, but then the thought comes up, then an emotion comes up, then a story starts building. But the thing is, I realized that I was actually approaching it. I was approaching it in like the wrong way, because like it's not about eliminating the thoughts. It's actually just being able to harness your mind, being able to concentrate on your breath. And what does it mean? You know, it doesn't mean that the distractions are going to go away. It simply means that you know you're gonna have the fortitude and the grit and the technique to be able to constantly bring it back to your awareness without getting triggered, without getting you know provoked. So that's why they call it a practice. It's not a pursuit of perfection. It's
Yeah.
just the pursuit of being, you know, like being there, like finding the, and for me more importantly, because like the mental clarity, the silencing of the, you know, being able to like dial it down a bit, that's just a very small part of the process. For me, the best part, which I think is how people like, you know, super successful entrepreneurs and like athletes, is because they're able to find the insights in the noise. And
Yeah.
that's the superpower, when you're able to really refine, you know, your the way you think, the way you concentrate, and really dig deep into your consciousness instead of just reacting to every single impulse. You know,
Yeah.
there's a study they say about like with they did like this scientific study on a certain group of people, and they were made to choose between sitting with their thoughts for around like 10 to 15 minutes or getting an electric shock. I think majority of that study wanted the electric shock. You know,
What?
so I
Oh,
mean, it's pretty insane how, you know, like there's so many studies that prove that it's really there to really boost your, you know, your quality of life. But at the same time, you know, like studies show that people don't want to do the work, because for them it's such a, it's painful, because it is painful. You know, you're
Yeah.
literally rewiring your brain. I mean, when you're rewiring your like actual like, you know, wires from like your computer, you could get electrocuted, and it's the same thing. So
Yeah.
it's, you know, you got to have the mindset and the discipline to really experience the benefits of a meditative practice.
so Nick, I do have a question though.
Sure.
So the benefits of meditation, it's a there are a lot, but since we are in the Modern Love podcast, do you think there is a benefit to meditation and finding love, or being more open to love, or being better in relationships or something? Actually,
100%.
let's focus on
100%.
finding love.
Yeah,
Finding
yeah. Yeah, and I like okay. I mean, I know we're talking about like romantic love here, but like I think it's totally possible, but it's not gonna be. I mean, like in terms of the law of attraction, they always say like you gotta like think about, visualize, but like the thing is, what people don't realize is that like I remember with my teachers, whenever they always stress the importance of relaxing. They call it shunya. Shunya means getting into your still point. And when you're relax and be in that neutral space, that's when you attract a lot of prosperity. Because you're so light. You're
Yeah.
metaphysically light, you're physically light, and like they use the analogy of like a light and like flies, right? They get attracted to the light, and
Mhm.
that's you. That's the concept of prosperity. When you're so still, when you're so bright, that's when prosperity is gonna attract you. They're gonna go towards you instead of you looking for it. So
Yeah.
that's the idea of it. When you have a meditative practice, you're gonna be so magnetic. Like people are gonna want to be around you. And what frequency are you
Very
on? Diba?
magnetic now.
If you're on the frequency of, you're very positive, you're very open,
Yeah.
you're gonna attract people like that. But if
Yeah.
you're negative, complaining, bitching about life, man, you're gonna attract a lot of people like that too. So if you notice, who are the people that you're interacting with in your life on a daily basis? Observe their characteristics. More often than not, they're like you. So, if you can cultivate the person
Okay.
you want to be and the
Yeah.
person that you want to attract, you got to work on that. Because if not, you're going to keep attracting the toxic, the negative, the ones that are annoying. Because we're
Ego.
all mirrors of each other, diba?
Yeah.
Essentially, I am you and you are me. That's a yogic like philosophy. So that's why
Mhm.
you need to realize that the other person isn't just another person. It's a reflection of you. It's reminding you of what you need to work on.
This is a good one. That's true. It's hard to be attracted to someone who's BV, bad vibes always too. I agree. Yeah.
Flag, man, red
It zaps your energy when somebody's. I mean, I'm not a ray of sunshine. So when I meet somebody who is even less of a ray of sunshine, I'm like, oh my god, I'm exhausted. Like it's
Yeah.
tiring to be around people like that. Yeah.
And that's why
Okay,
they say,
one, yeah.
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Go on, go on.
No,
No,
I just wanna
continue the
like I
wisdom.
don't wanna lose my my
Yeah.
train of thought there. Like
Go on.
when they say the cliche is love yourself first before you can
Mm,
find that partner. And it like at first I didn't really give it any like deeper thought, but like because of my practice with yoga and meditation, it makes so
yeah,
much sense. Because parang
yeah.
like the practice of like of tantric yoga, it's the union of the self. And if you're very in tune with yourself, then you can attract somebody who's also very in tune with themselves. And you can have a very healthy relationship. That's why it's for me it makes sense. That's why it's so important. Like you can't have a if you're a codependent, if you always leech on, like, oh, this is my life, you're fucked. I mean, sorry,
Okay.
you're
Yeah.
in big trouble. You're in big trouble.
Okay, one question, very practical. Women, they complicate things. We tend to think, overthink. If someone replies this way, we tend to analyze, dissect with our friends. Why did he say this? What does this mean? What is a simple exercise for women to stop overthinking before a date, when they're texting a man? Like, just be a calmer woman.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's very simple. So in meditation and yoga, they have this thing called pranayama, which is are breathing exercises, and they say when you're able to control your breath, you can control your life. Because when
Hmm.
you breathe, more often than not, majority of the human population, we either breathe very lightly or we
Yeah.
hold our breath unconsciously. That's why when you do long, deep breathing, you can try it out. Breathe, inhale deeply through the nose,
Yeah. Okay.
exhale completely through the nose, deep breaths, like hear yourself breathe. You're going to start getting lightheaded. You're going to start getting
Okay.
dizzy because you're actually taking in more oxygen in your brain. And
Yeah.
that's why you're not used to that sensation of that all that prana, that oxygen circulating throughout your brain going into your lungs, going into your body, and then you're gonna
Yeah.
start feeling kind of high. You're gonna start feeling tingles, and that's like
Okay.
adrenaline. But that's because you're breathing mindfully. So for me, if you can do a bit of long, deep breathing, like let's say for a minute to 3 minutes before you go on a date, just to kind of bring your, I guess your space into
Anxiety.
like into like an equilibrium lang. Because I
Hmm.
mean, come on, like why do people say when you're going up on a stage for a presentation, breathe,
Yeah.
take a deep breath? I mean, that's a yogic thing, but you
Yeah.
got to do it like not just one, like do it constantly, mindfully,
Okay.
and you're gonna see a difference. Like I mean, like with sex, diba? When you start synchronizing your breath, like
Yeah.
it's like it gets more intense, diba? Because you're literally circulating energy within each other, within
Yeah.
yourselves, within all the oxygen around you, and you're creating this like cosmic orgasm, like and a literal orgasm. So
So it's
it's pretty
all
cool.
in the breath.
All in the breath.
So, so Nick,
So
Nick, before we dive in more about meditation, can you give like Bea and I like a quick tutorial? Like guide us through like a 2 minute meditation. Like
Sure.
how should we do it? Like to all the newbies out there, you guys can try to
do
follow.
this. Yeah. With
Yeah.
us.
So just if you're seated down or you're lying down, it's fine.
Okay.
Gently close your eyes.
Okay.
Now, I just want you to notice and observe the quality of your thoughts, and just observe. Like, don't overthink, don't dissect. And now observe what you're feeling, the quality of your emotions. Just observe, like you're watching your feelings, and you're just acknowledging, okay, I feel this way. Now, gently scan your physical body, starting from the top of your head, moving down to your face, down to your neck, and just observing if there's any tension, if there's any tightness. Observe your chest, your back, and your spine. And now start to soften your abdomen, relaxing your hips and your pelvis, softening your thighs and your knees, softening your shins and your feet. And keeping your eyes closed, inhale deeply through the nose. Pause the breath gently. And exhale completely from the mouth with a sigh. Again, inhale deeply through the nose. Pause the breath gently.
Sorry. I'm
Exhale
trying
completely
to.
from the mouth with a
I'm
sigh.
trying
Yeah, you suck. But yeah, I mean,
Bea,
that's very, very basic, very simple. It's like it's more like a practice of mindfulness, because like
you
breath
know,
work is a form
Nick,
of meditation.
I think it's also you have the voice for it. You have a
I know. I
very
was just saying
like
your
full
specific words
voice.
were too intense. I have to say.
No, it
Thank you.
was
Thank you.
relaxing. Can you like record me like a 1 hour thing so I can like fall asleep with you
I
just saying,
actually have on Spotify, so I can send that
And
to
there
you.
you go.
please
Please,
send.
before you get upset with your partner, please listen to
Yeah,
this.
like before I was getting
Maybe
into my
don't make
meditation
for the
today.
girls, don't make your guys, your husbands, or your
Oh yeah.
boyfriends
Yeah, yeah,
listen to
that's
my
right.
voice. I think I can suggest a woman meditator, at least yin and yang. Let's not go too.
I was gonna say it's because it's I just can't, take I will try again. I will try again.
But yeah, I think you need a one-on-one with me.
Okay, sure. Next, please. Next question.
Okay, so okay, let's wait before we ask more questions to
Hmm.
Nick. Let's dive in Reiki first, so we can answer certain questions. So, Kimmy, can you tell us what is Reiki healing?
Mm, Reiki is life force energy. So everything has energy. I mean, our conversation has energy. My room has energy. Your rooms have energy. Everything. Do you believe in this, you guys? Like, if you agree at the very least. Okay, so I hope everyone believes that everything is energy or has energy. And basically, we have energy centers in our body. So these are what we call the chakras. And Reiki, I would say, is similar to, you know, how when your laptop is lagging or conking out because maybe one folder has too many videos, one folder has too many like spreadsheets or whatever, and it's just lagging or it's shut off automatically. You bring it to the shop, and then the guy says, "Ay, kailangan natin i-reboot." Okay. So now, really, for me at least, is a reboot. So they fix all of the folders, they fix the virus, and then you're like a new person. But you're the same person, you're the same laptop. But then you're functioning like more flowingly and fluidly and faster. So that is Reiki, like as simple as that. That's how I explain it to beginners or newbies. So Reiki is a reboot of your energy folders,
So,
and
yeah.
works yeah, it works where it's supposed to. I have no idea if it's going to be physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. It just
Yeah.
works. Like it just reboots itself.
So same question I had with Nick a while ago. Reiki, can it help Bea and I find love?
Can't even take the meditation seriously. How am I gonna do this?
Yes,
Give me advice.
here in Reiki, there's no negative or positive. They only say or it's blocked. Like the energy is blocked. So you can
Yeah.
actually block that through the healing process.
Okay.
So
Actually, I
how
don't
this
think we asked the both of you. That the title of our show now is "Are we blocking love?" Do you guys think that our energies are actually blocking it? The question is for the both of you.
Hmm.
Maybe.
about you guys?
Maybe.
Not just us. I mean, people.
Nice us.
I thought that I am not blocking energy. I mean, like in general, do you think somebody's way of living, way of life, way of thinking is actually blocking them or stopping them from finding the love of their lives or something?
Yes, and sometimes it's even like unconscious. We don't know that we are actually blocking it already. That's the thing. So
Mm.
we need cleansing and healing and all of these things. I know they
Hmm.
sound so woo, but for some people it really works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that kind of it does make you, I mean, I'm not laughing because I think this is important, but it's more of it's really awkward. Like when you're feeling your senses inside is weird. Like because you're so busy, you act all like you're always busy, you don't have time for that. And then suddenly when things are just a little bit more sensitive, it is kind of a bit freaky for me
Yeah.
at least.
No, I agree
Yeah.
with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's
that's
like I
fine.
don't
Like that
think you
means
should feel like this. But
when
And
you're feeling awkward, that means it's working.
yeah.
sometimes I feel like a bit like when I attempt or even when I read about things like this, sometimes I feel kind of like, am I like going like I'm nuts or something?
100%. 100%. I mean,
Yes.
I wasn't into this like for most of my life. And my mom, is into like all this energy healing, crystals and stuff. And I remember telling her before, just, like a couple of years ago, like, what the heck is this? This is ridiculous. But like, I mean, I have to admit, like, I mean, I'm not that into the like crystals or energy healing as I was compared to before. Like I was pretty obsessed with it. I think it was a phase for me, but I can appreciate it now. I can understand where they're coming from. But like if you ask me now, like if like am I gonna like like go every day to like a healer and try to like align my chakras? I'm not gonna go for that. I'd rather go outside and play basketball, to be honest, because like I feel like spirituality and all these like healing modalities, they as helpful as they are, they can also be crutches. Like they can really get in the way and make it all about like a placebo effect. But like whatever for me, like meditation doesn't even need to be like a formal practice. Like I mean, like let's put basketball as an example. Like I was into basketball growing up to like college, and then I just was so sick of it I didn't touch it for like 10 years. But because I started like spending more time in my mom's house during this pandemic, there's a basketball court here in the house. I just started, picking up the ball and shooting, randomly, and then I started feeling, wow, my thoughts are turning off. Like I'm not feeling, I'm not thinking, I'm just, like it was kind of like a meditative experience. And now, like honestly, like I feel like whenever I visit, it's my form of meditation because it really gets me out of my head. And I think you just gotta find that, and when you're in that cassette, it really opens up a lot of windows, a lot of doors, not just in terms of romance, but like in terms of the people you need to meet, opportunities that are for you. So it's such an interesting thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
I will agree. Like there are different kinds of meditation. There's, when you're seated and you're super relaxed. Some do like they color, some wash the dishes, some play basketball, and it's that meditative state of just being blank because that resets your brain, and we need that reset every now and then. So it comes in different forms, whichever works for you. So it can be journaling, or maybe you're having your cup of coffee, whatever it is that makes you feel great. Basically.
so I have a question though. I'm sure there's like uh like did you guys have like a turning point like that made you dive into your practice? Like I mean nobody just goes like, okay, today I'm gonna be a Reiki or a life coach, or like today I'm gonna teach people meditation. Was there like a certain turning point in your lives that led you to this? Um Whoever can go
I
first. Jack and
think
Foy.
I think the story is more interesting. So I'll start with myself.
No, of course not. All our stories are interesting. But
All stories are.
yeah, no, but with me naman, I mean, it was like my marriage ended like couple like 6 years ago. Was it 6 years ago? I mean, that was the trigger. I mean, I was already interested in meditation, but more for productivity, for efficiency. It wasn't really to dive in spiritually because I wasn't spiritual at all. I wasn't even religious. So when my marriage ended, it really kind of when all the coping mechanisms weren't working, like drinking, going out, the drugs. It just I was desperate, to be honest. And I remember reaching out to one of my cousins who was like, a hippie. And then I was like, I gotta learn, I gotta learn how to meditate. I'm desperate. And she was like, come, like I went to this Hindu gathering in Magallanes, and they were all women. And, you're doing different Hindu meditation, like golden cloud meditation. And it was, I was really tripping out on it because it was really so new. Like there was the novelty of it was still there. And after the meditation, a lot of the women were saying, have you tried Kundalini yoga? And I'm like, no, I've never heard of it. And they were like, you gotta come. It's in this beautiful house. This American teacher is the one that leads the sessions. And I went the next day, and that very first class was like, man, it was mind blowing. It was so powerful that it wasn't an just a eureka moment. Like my entire body experienced something very visceral, and that was really like I was hooked. I was going every day. It led me to India, led me to New Mexico. It really opened up this entirely new door, and it opened up like this, I don't know, like something like these infinite possibilities that I never, ever, ever would have even considered, years ago. But it's brought me to this path. And, the I did my teacher training 3 years ago in New Mexico for Kundalini yoga, but it wasn't to be a teacher. It was really just to deepen my practice. I didn't want to be a teacher. Like it never ever crossed my mind. But after the training, I just felt like the need, this gravitational force pulling me to teach, because I learned so much that I said I gotta share this. Like I can't keep this to myself. Like I really have to share this. And after that, things just kept going and going, and like fast forward to now, I'm teaching full time.
One question about being married, being married before and then separated in this kind of culture in the Philippines. What's it like? Like, do people judge a lot? Like, this is what I always wonder. A lot of things are not discussed in the Philippines, and one of which is when people get separated. What
Yeah.
was that like? And then I guess you talk about your time in, New Mexico, and that's helped you. But in here, is it easy to, you know,
No,
keep
it wasn't. It was one of the hardest experiences of my life, to be honest. Because, like, I mean, my both our families were very conservative, came from very Catholic. So, we got married in church. So we had to go through the annulment process, which is something I would never will on anybody, because it's just disgusting, and
yeah.
it's like so expensive, so like humiliating.
It's long
Like,
too, right? It's a long process.
yeah, it took around 2 years for the church annulment, but it was difficult because, like, I think that when all in hindsight, looking back at it, like it was actually pretty smooth between me and my ex-wife, but it was the people around you, your family, your friends, people you knew, the stigma of, oh, are you okay? Like, I'm so sorry that your marriage ended. Parang it kind of branded you as like blacklisted na failure, like you failed publicly, like your marriage failed. That's how they say it, right? So that
Yeah.
was a mind fuck for sure. Like it really, like that
Mm.
was so hard to like deal with. But then I think that's how you develop thick skin, because it gets to the point where you're so sick of it, like
Yeah.
whatever. Like I remember I would have go-to answers now, like, okay, I don't want to, if I can't be bothered, I'll just say, oh, we're good, yeah, we've all moved on. Or if they want to hear something hopeful, oh, we're still good friends, like it's all good. Or if they want to hear something grim, I'll be like, yeah, it's over, but been there, done that. Parang it got to that point na parang you're so immune to it
Yeah.
because it's so
Yeah.
annoying that you kind
So
of like you really build thick skin.
Yeah. How about you, Kimmy Lou? How was your experience? What changed?
Ah, well, I was lost. I was crying for no reason, parang baliw, like crazy. And
Mm.
then, well, my parents are actually marriage counselors. So I saw them at a very young age helping married couples, get back together or fix things, fight also. So I knew that I just needed to talk to someone, but there weren't any available life coaches back then in 2009 in the Philippines. So I had to Google and all that. I ended up in San Diego, and I actually took the course because of NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming. And then it had hypnotherapy, and then it had Reiki. But then I really liked the Reiki part, which I had no idea about. It was my
Mm.
first encounter with it, and I just fell in love with it. I was so drawn to it that I started practicing it. So I have been attracting people who come to me as clients who are lost. Like if there's no clarity, if they're worrying, they need some guidance in career or whatever it is, then they're the ones who usually come to me. So I was lost, and then I found myself. I found this career.
Yeah.
Beo, how come when we're lost, we drink? How come they did something productive?
I know. I've lost. Okay, I've been deported in the airport because I felt lost that time. There's actually a lot of things that do happen to me with visas. Um, Lost for me is not finding, some healing method. It's really a lot more Negronis and old fashioned drinks than I can possibly consume.
That,
Um,
that's fun.
yeah, it's
When
fun,
I
but
was
not
kid,
good.
I tend to drink, and then my one of my best friends, Isa, would just be like, "Lasengga ka na naman," or things like that, and never got into the whole, "I'm gonna meditate, I'm gonna be a Reiki
Mm.
healer," blah blah blah. Ugh,
Just relax.
I should have.
But the struggle is real. The struggle is real because I enjoy drinking. I enjoy going out and partying, and
So you don't drink
like there
anymore?
was I don't drink anymore.
Oh,
But like it took a while to get to that point because like I remember like maybe the first 3 years of getting into it, I would still go out a lot, but parang I would get drunk, get a hangover, and I'm like, man, what am I doing? I'm like living a double life. Parang I'm meditating, I wasn't teaching yet. But like I think when I started teaching, that's when I started understanding, okay, para how can you freaking be a teacher if you're gonna go out all night, drink, have a hangover, show up to class. Like how I mean, what kind of energy are you gonna be sharing to your
yeah.
students? I mean, like at one aspect it was like it was a practical decision because like you want to feel good. Like naman you want to get the class over and done with, na, diba? But like it was a challenge to kind of like start being aware of that. But then I don't know, like parang it got to the point wherein I think the hardest part because I was like saying no to people whenever because I still go out to a bar. Like I wouldn't not
Mm.
go out, but like they'd say, "Oh, take a shot na." And I'm like, "No, no thanks, no thanks." I'm like, parang I insulted them pa. So I
Mm.
learned na lang to parang pretend that I'm drinking. So I'll take a shot, I'll have a bottle of beer on me, and I'll spit the shot back. And I'll have a glass of like soda water lang. It's just what people want to see what they want to see. So
Yeah.
sometimes you just gotta play, give them a smoke screen and join the fun. Because you don't want to ruin the vibe, Brenda. And there's a big stigma with people who don't like to drink, but like it's totally possible to have fun. I mean,
Yeah.
like I'm all for plant medicine. I'm not for
No,
alcohol. I can do.
I feel so bad. I'm the only one drinking here. I only have like one drink a week,
this
So
one is perfect. Tequila is a good escape, but not a solution. Thank you, Kara, for reminding me. I
it's
used to
also
drink
very.
like a lot.
Look at this also. Pero
Yeah.
masaya maglasing.
Masaya talaga. Masaya
Okay,
talaga.
sige, tama
True.
ka
Masaya.
But
Oh,
you know,
following day.
I don't have the same tolerance. When I was younger, I could drink like crazy. Now I have one drink and I'm just like, kinakaya.
Yeah.
And look at
Wait,
this one.
Kimmy Lou, I'm interested. What is one little exercise Shari and I could do? Because I
Yeah,
obviously failed in the meditation
it
exercise.
ruined my meditation.
So maybe you can give me another
Oh,
chance.
Yeah, give us a Reiki, guys.
guys.
3 minutes.
So this is like a combination of everything. It's still, the work. So I have this favorite practice, which is
Mm.
called Ho'oponopono.
Again,
Um,
sorry.
Ho'oponopono. So
Ho,
it's a
ho,
Hawaiian.
okay.
So you say Ho'o,
Ho, ho,
Pono,
pono,
Pono.
pono. Ho, pono,
Ho'oponopono.
ho,
Okay.
pono.
But we'll say it in English. So it's I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you.
Oh,
My worst phrases in life. I can't say any of those.
I know.
You're just uttering words. You're not saying it to anyone. You're just verbalizing
Okay.
it. That's
So
Okay.
it.
you
Go.
say it to ourselves, like to myself. I'm telling myself
You just say it out loud. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive
to
me.
others.
Thank you. And somehow, maybe it will heal you or heal some people around you. It transcends.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Pono
And
means becoming or being. Pono means sacred or perfect. So it means becoming perfect. And your perfect self is your zero self, meaning you're very pure, you are cleansed, there's no judgment, there's no programming, you're just a being. So when you say these four phrases, you are cleansing anything that is blocking or hindering you, whatever it is. So you just say those four phrases. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. So we'll try it 3 times first, and then we'll do an exercise with it. Can we
oh,
try that?
yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay, I'm
I'm
down.
so stressed.
Let me
Okay.
type first. Wait lang. Let me type it more. I love you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please forgive
You just put all the phrases I hate saying into one exercise. How could this happen?
I'm
Why did I
sorry.
volunteer to do this?
The bottom.
You need it. You need this, Bea. You need this. This is for
What is it
you
again?
Yeah,
specifically.
yes.
I love I
Okay.
love
I love
you.
you. I'm sorry. Please forgive
I'm
me. Thank you.
Okay,
I'm
okay. I
sorry.
love you.
Okay?
I'm
Please
sorry.
forgive me. I'm sorry. I say I love you
Yeah.
to my dogs a lot.
I did see that in Paris Hilton's documentary where she likes animals more than
The
people.
documentary, it took a turn, you know? I did not realize a uh to our viewers out there, if you want to watch something very interesting, Paris Hilton's documentary. It's not what you think it would be. Okay, sorry. Okay, let's go back to
Okay,
Okay.
exercise.
yes.
Okay.
Okay. So, 3 times lang. All of this. Like,
Okay.
this line. So, I love
I
you.
love
I
you.
love you. I'm
Sorry.
Sorry.
Please
Forgive me.
forgive me. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
I love
I love you. I'm sorry. Please
you.
forgive me. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Love
One more.
you. And sorry. Please forgive me.
I
Okay.
love you. I'm sorry.
Bakit ka umubo? Bawal umubo ngayon. I
I
love you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you.
Okay. Take
Okay.
a deep breath in. So, exhale. Now we're going to tap into that. Basically, we're tapping into meridians in your body, and it sends a signal to your brain to cleanse. Okay.
okay.
So, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you.
I love you.
Like
I'm
this?
sorry. Please forgive
Okay.
me. Thank
Yes,
you.
join us. I love
I
you.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I
Please
love you.
forgive
I'm sorry. Please
me.
forgive me.
Oh,
Thank
from
you.
the heart. Someone's telling me to say it from the heart. Okay, wait.
Thank you. Yeah, but
I
Oh,
love you.
good.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wait, what's
Please
next
forgive
here?
me.
please
I
forgive
love you.
me. Thank you. And then
Okay.
under your, I love you. I'm
I
sorry.
love you. I'm sorry. Please
Sorry.
forgive
Please forgive me.
I'm
I
sorry.
can't.
Please
Okay.
forgive me. Your chest. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you.
I love you. I'm
Please
sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. What?
forgive me. Thank
There?
you. Okay. Yeah.
you. Yeah.
So it's psychological acupressure.
So
Okay.
what does this do?
So
Does it just bring us to the moment? Like I'm telling myself,
it sends a
Okay.
signal. For example, like if you want to answer quickly, you're
mm,
going to start this because you're at this one sends a signal to your brain to think quickly. And then this one, if you Google philosophers, you're looking this way because this is deep thinking naman. So all of these points have their own function. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you.
yeah, I am gonna do.
Someone's calling me at Bea participate. I'm trying.
Participate, you keep laughing kasi.
But how are you feeling ba, Bea? What was this, difficult? Is it
I
She's
have
getting
difficult?
a
triggered.
real.
She's getting triggered.
Oh my god, this is the worst. Honestly, these are all the words I hate saying. Mm.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
have
so
one
that means,
question though.
yeah,
What?
we're gonna need to work on that.
Oh yeah,
Intermission.
this is a good question.
Okay.
Energy.
How do you know if you are projecting negative energy? Like in your head, you're okay, but others, you are repelling people with your negative energy. Okay. Oo nga. Paano nga?
This is
Okay.
like self-awareness. Like, if you feel like nobody's talking to you na, parang, ay, baka negative na, nobody wants to talk to me any. I mean, for me, that's the simplest thing, self-awareness. Like, okay, I don't think people want to talk to me. I keep telling them about my heartache or my problems, and they're getting fatigued from my story. So maybe you need to observe that.
Hmm.
How
That's
about you know?
my
Oh, sorry. Go
so
ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like I think it's like what Kimmy said. Like I mean, Kundalini yoga is known as the yoga of awareness. So it's really about like it's funny. I'm gonna connect this to Bea. Like it's they say in the practice when you're it's designed to poke and provoke you to
Hmm.
get triggered. That's the main purpose of the practice. Why? Because when you're in your comfort zone, that's a luxury. That's not a basic need. That's gravy. That's just additional cushioning. But when you're
Mm,
out of your comfort zone, that's when you evolve. You know, like when you embrace challenging situations, when you embrace challenging moments instead of running away, easier said than done, 100%. But when you actually embrace it, that's when you actually develop, like character strength. That's why, like a lot of the lessons that we keep facing in our lives, especially with relationships, are always like repetitions or like
Mm.
um like just like versions of what happened before in the past. And they'll always keep coming up, and we learn them. So your vibe, it's so important, because you may not be aware of it. Like I remember, like in the first few months of the pandemic, my brother, parang we kind of had this like open confrontation. He was like, parang medyo bad vibes ka, bro, eh. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, and then I realized na I was like feeling really shitty. Like I wasn't feeling good because I was so affected by the pandemic. And in my head, I was just like keeping myself busy, keeping myself productive. But the brain is just like one tiny aspect of your entire body. But like your vibe, that energy, that is something you need to like cultivate, because you can be pretty oblivious to it too, and most people are.
I
Yeah.
think this is an interesting question too, guys. So if you keep on attracting the same sort of people with the same sort of junk, does it mean that there's something in our vibe that's attracting that?
100%.
100%.
100%.
Yes.
So
Same
if I
here.
draw in negative people or negative, okay, let's go back to love, negative love interests, it's me.
Mm.
Yep, it's you. It's not
It's
them.
it's
Yeah.
not.
Hate to break
Always.
it to you, but
I they had us.
No, I really believe it though. I
Yeah.
really believe that you can't. I remember someone used to tell me like stop being a victim, and one of the key things is really to stop trying to say like I feel bad for myself that this is happening. It's your own doing, it's your own choice, and you know, toughen
Yep.
up,
Yeah.
yep,
Yeah,
breathe better.
yeah, we're all
That's
breathe
why.
better.
saying it's them, it's them, it's them. But really, the only person you can blame is yourself with everything. You, even if, yeah, you put yourself in situations and then, yeah. Guys, and good question, it's us. Um, so what else? What do you guys have messages to people who, what? Go ahead,
Gusto
Kimmy.
pala yung ano, it's not you, it's me. That line, I hate that line. But it's
Stop
true.
using that, everyone. Stop.
I
Killing
use
me.
that, I use that line as a joke, like with somebody. I was like, you know what? It's not gonna work. It's not me. It's you. I was just being a jerk. But
Yes.
how about actual success stories with your practice?
Ah,
So you
let's
work
do
with
that.
people on blocking. Do you guys have actual like success stories that you can share?
I have someone who was married and then she had to break up with the husband because she saw him with I think another woman on their bed, literally. So she seeked for help and we worked on self love, really. Again, focusing on yourself first and your worth. Because when you know your worth, then you know also what you deserve, what kind of love you deserve. So we did a lot of healing, manifesting work, but really it all boils down to self-love. You know what RuPaul says? What's that line that he keeps on saying? Like, if you don't know how to love yourself, how can anybody love you as well? Something like that. That's yes,
Mm.
I really believe in that. And now she is happily married with a wonderful man, and that's what he's telling me. Like you helped me manifest this guy, but again, I will tell her it's not me, it's you. You did it. You loved yourself more.
This is
So
really good. I
yeah,
super believe that you need to really practice self love before you can give love. I mean, that's exactly what you're saying, Kimmy.
Yeah,
yeah,
agree.
totally agree.
How about you, Nick?
Well, I mean, I don't really know um, the relationship dynamics of my students, but I mean, most of my students are women though. Like 98% are women. But that's
Mm.
just the way it is with yoga and meditation, especially here in the Philippines, pa. But like, like I mean, they do reach out. They do like, I mean, it's mostly how the effect that they feel like after the practice, after a session, like they feel more relaxed. They feel more clear. Some of them get really emotional. Some of them cry, or some of them just feel a lot of gratitude. And it's like, I mean, I always tell them that, it's not me, it's you. I'm just there to like hold space. I'm there to facilitate. I'm there to help guide you. But like all of these things are already in you. It's just that you're so distracted. Sometimes you're so caught up in the grind that you can't recognize that, these feelings are just there. And sometimes we just really lock them in. I mean, like for me personally, like I don't like experiencing negative feelings. Like I run away from them. But I always realize that they end up catching up with me, and it's like a freaking tsunami. Like it's just so overwhelming, so painful. But I think that's what the meditative experience teaches you, and yoga. To be present, to even though you're feeling all this sadness or all this fear, that you're still moving, you're still flowing with it, you're not resisting it. And it's like, because the insights are there. It's just that we're so programmed and like conditioned to believe that you have to veer away from pain, veer away from discomfort, when we know this. When you put in the hard work, when you put in the discipline, that you benefit from that. That's why like look at athletes, look at people who are super skilled in the arts. They hone their craft day in, day out. And that, for me, that's like it's not a job. It's like it's a craft, getting into that flow state. And you want to get to that even with your relationships.
We need a lot of inner work.
Okay.
Sherry.
I know.
I'm so pressured right now. I think I'm like sweating in the inside. But no, I do like what you both said. It's about, that tsunami that comes through, and you have to be ready with that, and also have some self-love, because without that, I know it sounds a little bit like, how do you call it? It's like such a big concept. Um, but it's that practice and the day to day, and doing, little things without laughing. So maybe for me, trying to do that daily but not laughing would be a change, right, Shari?
Work,
Yeah.
ano yan, last or yoga ba yan? Lasting yoga. You can do that too.
Yeah, naked yoga as well.
Also,
It's
Bea,
a
it's
thing.
the best environment. We
There's
are in
beer
Manila.
yoga.
I
I've
saw there
heard of
was
that.
a goat one that was so cute with Kevin Hart, and like that, which I can't remember who it was. It was goat yoga session. It was
Yeah.
adorable, so cute. Okay, so if we would give our viewers our conclusions and
Yeah.
final tips as to how we can practice, like we talked about self love, how to be positive, and how to live
Thank
life
you.
a certain way that we attract better people, what would they be and
Yeah.
why? So, tips. Who wants to start?
Oh,
Kimmy, go ahead.
I don't know my answer yet, but the first thing that came into my mind is actually gratitude. I don't know why, but
Gra-
maybe when you, because I'm advocate this, like I really believe in gratitude, that the more things you see, the more things you realize that you're grateful for, more things come into your life, like abundance comes into your life. So when you have this attitude of, celebrating life, it makes you become a positive person, and you have a good vibe. Diba? Parang your frequency is better. So that attitude of gratitude, if you just continue to um, practice it, then perhaps maybe that could attract somebody as well with the same kind of energy. That's it. I don't know why that came out, but that's the one. So gratitude, attitude of gratitude, I think will help you guys on
I
my
like.
side.
I'm
I
grateful for all of you guys today.
yeah.
Yes,
Let's start there.
Everyone, everyone here, everybody watching, and I'm grateful. Myself.
So
Please
grateful.
help us.
guys.
Thank you,
That,
universe.
yeah,
Um,
and the thing is with gratitude, you can actually ask for more. You're allowed to. So
Okay.
yes, I want the best, God's best for me. I'm already grateful because He's on His way.
I'm already grateful because he is on his way.
Yep,
Okay.
he's
Yeah.
on the way. He's on the way.
Bea is on the way.
Saan? Sa dito? Sa Batangas? Ang layo ko.
That
You
is
never know. You
Saan?
never know.
the delay ng flight. Oh, freaking.
Anong flight yan?
I
Saan?
want
Anong time zone?
Okay,
Okay.
how about you, Nick?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I'm a realist. Like even if like I'm into the spiritual stuff, like I struggle with that. Bea, I mean, I'm laughing, but like I, I love you, I forgive you, I thank you. These words or these statements are very triggering to me,
Mm.
and I think you got to go at your own pace. Like it's not an automatic. People have this idea kasi na parang, when you just trust the universe, you dive deep into yourself, like all the secrets are going to be revealed, but it's not like that. You know, it's,
Yeah.
life is full of suffering. It's so difficult, but you got to do what you have to do it. Like it's not, stop looking at it in black and white. Like it's very gray. Sometimes you're going to have to drink all your sorrows away. Sometimes you're gonna need to get super stoned. You're gonna need to be like just working out like a beast. But you gotta find your thing. For me, like find your thing. I mean, sometimes it might be, um, like a maybe like a negative coping mechanism, like through like a vice. But sometimes it could be like going for a run or like washing the dishes. But I'm not even asking you to find like a meditative practice. It's more like find your thing that can give you peace, that can get you out of your head for a bit. Because when you can do that, that's when you kind of realize things. Like parang, oh fuck, like this guy's a fucking dick. Like I should just break up with this guy. Like you know what I mean? Because when you're just like compressing your time, filling your time constantly, you're just distracting yourself. And I mean, it's so hard, especially now in this pandemic. We're constantly on our phones, joining all these Zoom calls, but like there's so much stimulation, but what's really happening inside? And
Yeah.
that's why we always go through like rock bottoms, diba? Na parang because you just really just hiding it, suppressing it, then bang, you're just like wallowing in your, like your all your feelings. But that's just the way life is, right? And just go with it. Go at your own pace. That's my advice.
Oh, I love that advice. Life is not a one-way street. Find what works for you. Yeah, good at okay,
Absolutely.
good. And Bea, look at this.
I see it. I
Thank
see
you.
a few. Thank you so much for everyone cheering me on. I
Thank
love this
you.
one.
Thank you for
Okay.
all the support.
Ito pa, you got this. Embrace the challenges you have. I don't even know you, but thank you so much. I feel better already. I feel like a better
You feel
lover already.
hopeful. Our guests, Nick and Kim, you guys made us so hopeful.
Yeah, I have to say. I mean, what did you learn, Shari, before you wrap up and say goodbye?
What did I learn?
Yeah.
Um, I've always I actually really liked what Nick said. Find a way to cope with just find your own way. You don't have to force yourself. If like you, babe, you were laughing the whole time during our 3-minute meditation. That's not for you. Find another avenue. And
Yeah.
I also
Yep.
believe in gratitude. Especially with the people around you and whatever you get. Keeping yourself in a good mind frame, being positive. It's easier said than done. So I learned that it's a conscious effort to do so, to focus on the blessings that you do have and to focus on the things that you can do versus the things you can't. Um, yeah. How about you, Bea? What did you learn?
Hmm. I do love what Kim Lou said about energy. I mean, this is the age of like energy, and what you put out there is what you attract. It's so cliche, but I really do believe. Knowing my background, I think Kim, I was asking you before, ano ba nangyayari? Bakit pinipili ko puro bad boy, 'di ba? Kinakwento ko sa'yo. So I think after this, it's kind of like I don't know. Maybe I should attract the good. Let's see. Let's see.
I also think that maybe we think we deserve the fixer uppers, but we deserve the fixed. You know, you deserve.
I like a DIY project.
It is fun to bond with something. You know.
Okay, okay. I think this is good. I have a lot of little exercises, and I think we have to share it with everyone as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love
We do. Ano yun? I like that nga eh. So,
yes, tapping.
yeah.
And I like
Yeah.
Nick's voice for meditation. I'm gonna wait for the
I was
Spotify
gonna
thing.
say, very distracting. Yeah, it was hard to take it seriously, but we're gonna
Yeah.
try. All right. Shall we talk about next week's episode?
Guys,
Shari?
next week is something interesting. I don't. Next week is all about kitten fishing and cat fishing, and we have
Yeah.
quite an interesting
Yeah,
guest.
yeah, yeah. I'll send it.
Yeah. So
What's that?
kitten. So catfishing, you know, is when somebody pretends to look a certain way. Kitten fishing, on the other hand, is like everybody. You look how you look, but your online persona is different. Like you have an IG personality. That's very different from how you really are. So maybe you'll portray yourself as some wealthy supermodel, but in real life, you're an accountant who's working like the whole day, something like that. You know.
Yeah.
Uh,
So,
can you tell them about our guest next week?
well, I haven't really primed her, but let's talk about you know her more than I know her. But go
Okay,
tell.
well, guys, remember there was this whole big issue the start of lockdown when this woman got catfished by this director art director, and it was a
Yeah.
crazy catfishing story, and we invited her next week to share her story of it.
Yeah, so she has agreed because she said we're just starting out, so we're really grateful. I hope she doesn't back out, but let's see if she's gonna be open about it. I'm really interested. The same as how ghosting was. I really hope you guys stop catfishing or kitten fishing. I don't think the people watching us today are, but just in case.
But if you
Okay.
guys do have a good catfish story, Bea and I are all ears. We love a good catfish story. So, guys, don't be shy. Whatever you tell us is anonymous unless you say we can tell. Then we will
And
tell.
then starting next week, we're doing a weekly newsletter. We'll send you advice and cheat sheets, like, for example, our red flag detector.
Yep.
So you can just check the box and see if he's a red flag or what. But yeah, we'll see you next week. We thank you so much, Nick and Kimmy.
Thanks
Yeah,
so
so
much for having me.
Nick and Kimmy, anything to add about yourselves, how to contact you, where to contact you? Tell our viewers.
For me, just follow me on Instagram and click the link in my bio for. I actually also have a free 10-day meditation program, and I have a free workbook for clarity in case you needed that. And I have several programs for next month, and so just check it out. So it's Kimmy Lou Life Coach. See you guys there.
Thank you,
Cool. Okay.
Nick.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram as well, Nick Daez, and yeah, I teach nightly bedtime meditations for 20 minutes, audio only, so you don't need to show your faces, but like different kinds of meditation techniques, breath work, and you can also follow like I only started uploading the some of the meditations on Spotify, and yeah, like there's a couple of videos as well, Kundalini yoga and meditation videos around Instagram and YouTube as well.
I love
Okay, well,
Thank you guys for joining us this week, and please learn from what we talked about. Meditate, love yourselves, be positive, and please follow us on all our social channels and subscribe
yeah.
on YouTube. Bye,
All right.
guys.
Bye
Yay!
guys, thanks.
Podcast.